Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here and I'm bringing you Merge Girls with a farming setup for beginners. So if you're Merge Girls player or perhaps idle gamer, then make sure you subscribe to the channel as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then hit that like button as well. Right then guys, so we got the game running now for a few good months. We had plenty of updates, we had ongoing events, and the game still attracts a lot of new players. So therefore I'm thinking let's release another video, especially that now it's much easier than ever. You got to admit that obviously game has evolved, and if you're now starting out, you should be able to put a good team much quicker. On top of that, I want to show you that you can top it up with a lot of SR characters, so you don't need to wait for that top tier, you can get it much earlier. So what I want to do in a second, I'm going to show you a various amount of characters and you will then decide how you're going to craft your own strategy. I'll show you which characters I believe you should start with, and bear in mind at the same time as you're going to start progressing with different characters and you want to obviously start leveling up different one, then you can very quickly reset your previous character you invested and then move this resource somewhere else. So just very quickly, if I tap on Hannah in here for instance, and I tap on that very button, so this system is called gold retrieval, and basically what it does is just with handful of diamonds you'll be able to reset a character all the way to level 1 and then move that resource and now shift it into a brand new character you're leveling up. Obviously in the later stages you start leveling a multiple different characters, as there is so many different strategies that you'll be using a different characters for, but nevertheless to start with you obviously want to have a decent farming setup. So let's just come back now to the main screen, and what I want to do, I'm gonna head over to a collection. I'm gonna show you a free mandatory characters that you can start, that they are SR, and then everything else we will talk briefly about SSR characters, and then you will see which one you have actually unlocked and you can put them in your top 6. So let's just go straight into selection. And I'm gonna actually start with SR as I have mentioned, and there are 3 characters I want to discuss. Obviously SR cards will be much more easier to obtain, therefore I think you will be able much quicker to get these characters up and running. So the first character is actually Blair, and you need to bear in mind this is a tank character which you don't really want in your setup, but obviously she's got that great passive skill that, as you see, unlocking it on a 6 stars already giving you critical rate of 15% for 15 seconds. Obviously you want to aim for a clear time around 10 seconds if possible, meaning you will have this critical rate for entire fight. There is one extra thing with this very character which doesn't apply to other characters. You don't really want to level up this character. So what I mean, because it's a tank and it will never have enough damage, you just want this character to go on the battlefield, give you this very passive bonus for critical, and then literally die. Because we see the more characters you've got and the more skills you're gonna cast, the more animation happening, actually this is where you're losing out. So you want this character to just enter the battlefield, give you the buff and die instantly. Therefore every other character which will have a skill, cast skill through animation, obviously this is a multiply by 100 times your grind. You're gonna save yourself a time not leveling up this very tank. I can actually show you what I mean very quickly. So if I'll go and I will switch, let's say I'm gonna take this character out and I'm gonna insert Blair. I actually got Blair just on level 900. So as you see, I'm pretty much starting a round, I've got my buff up and running, the Blair is dying, and I've got now all the animation for all the remainder of the skill. Obviously the next round, the Blair is being redeployed again, casting a buff and instantly dying. And this is where I know it's only a fraction of the seconds, but when you do it hundreds and thousands of times, this is where you're gonna save yourself time up. But currently I'm using actually Haida anyway, because Haida is on a 10 stars, so obviously I've got more benefit, and I'll show you later on Haida anyway. So just coming back to a collection, we discussed about the Blair itself. So the next character you want to have is a Lilith, and Lilith actually is the character I'm currently using, and this is again down to this great buff. And as you see, we're talking here about boost of all allies attack, and starting with 40% very early in the game, 40% gonna be great for yourself, and then ending up all the way to 90. And then later on as well, you will be leveling Ellie anyway, and this is a great character. You're gonna use her across the spectrum anyway, and obviously this buff which will provide you additional mana, it means you casting skills quicker. So if you do not have any other characters, these 3 SR tier characters should be a great start for a farming strategy. And then later on, basically where you want to take it, you want to take a 3 characters of a support and have a 3 damage dealers. So I wouldn't recommend any damage dealers from SR characters. We only want to boost here either mana recovery or boost that damage as much as possible. And then obviously we're going into a damage deals. So skipping a top row where we've got some tanks. And Hana is gonna be one of the characters you want to aim from. This is one of the greatest characters when it comes to damage output. It's very hard to get these coins, aka cards, to start off, but later on you'll be able to obviously get Hana to absolutely next level. And as you see, we've got here this additional critical rate, which is absolute beast with the other skills as well. You need to bear in mind that Hana obviously is a melee character, so your second choice is gonna be mailing itself. You also will be able to rely on Krona in a very early stages in the game due to a bleed itself, but I believe you will have to go and pick up one of these characters to start off. I would definitely go either Hana or mailing, and then the rest of the characters pretty much they will be a range class characters, and that's the ones you want to go for. So these 2 to start off, and then ideally when it comes to a damage dealers, when it's a range class, then you want to go for a Rebecca. Now Rebecca is one of the top tier classes as well. You can go and level her easily. Priscilla is absolute beast when it comes to damage output. Isis is a must-have, especially in the later stages due to this additional stun that will be always beneficial in either PvP or perhaps obviously pushing stages. Or you can go with Alice, because I do not have these characters as high or as much awakened. I'm still using a Captain J, and this is a great damage dealer as well. And the reason I'm still using Captain J in comparison to more melee characters, and this is again down to where you are with upgrades. So if I check my current lab, I'm trying to push that all the way to level 200. So as you see, I've got 94.5% additional boost of attack when it comes to shooter in comparison to 71 attacker. So despite having a small chance, let's say, between mailing and Captain J will still be better because I have actually taken my additional skills to absolutely different level. But probably if I would have it leveled out and then I can switch it into mailing or any other character, I would definitely do it. And obviously the aim will be to replace Captain J at some point into more decent damage dealer I have shown you previously. So that will be it, guys. Obviously there is so many different options you can pick up from. As mentioned, if you're unhappy with one, then reset it. You know, use this opportunity just by spending 100 diamonds and shift your focus into a different strategy. But you want to aim with these obviously 3 support characters. Currently where I am as well, obviously having Haida itself, she will give you additional a critical rate. Amethyst gives you additional attack to start off, and so it's a Lilith gives you additional attack at the start of the battle. So I'm boosting my attack twice, I'm boosting my critical rate, and I'm having a free massive damage deal output, and hence now this, as you see, the stage is clean sort of between 9 to 11 seconds, and that's a pretty decent stage. I'm very happy with the results. So that will be it, guys. If you still got any questions, then don't hesitate to leave a comment below and I'll be happy to answer and help you out. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.